Hey guys, I'm Alyssa, and today I'm going to teach you a little bit about playing guitar. As far as background knowledge goes, the only real piece of knowledge that you should come into this with is how to have your guitar tuned and ready to play. If you don't know how to tune your guitar, you can YouTube videos on it. There are a lot of different websites that can help teach you how to do it. But if you're a visual learner, definitely try YouTubing it. And you should be able to find ways to walk you through it pretty easily. But assuming your guitar is tuned to standard tuning, should sound something along the lines of mine. And I'm actually going to teach you guys how to play a super simplified version of the song When I Come Around by Green Day, because it's one of my favorite songs, and it's also one of the first songs that I learned how to play on guitar, because it is a really simple song and it only consists of like 4 chords. It's super easy. So I'm going to break it down as small as possible, and then we'll eventually build up into learning how to be able to play the song. If you have background knowledge of any kind of music theory, it doesn't have to be in depth, just basic understanding from like an elementary school music class or a middle school music class, or even if you did something like chorus or band in high school, that would be really beneficial. But if you don't, that's okay. Just some of the in-depth music theory parts might get a bit confusing. So if you don't have the background knowledge for that, you can always either try and follow it or just ignore it and just follow along with what I'm explaining. If you are learning how to play guitar, you can look up sheet music, or you can find something called tabs, which requires absolutely zero music theory background. It literally spells out what fret of the guitar you're using. Frets are these gaps between these vertical bars, and what string you're playing that fret on. So it's super simple. I'll break it down both ways for this lesson, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do try and play this song with the band's recording of it from like an album or off YouTube, it's not going to sound the same. The way that they play it is actually tuned down a half step, so a guitar is typically tuned to E, and so this string right here is E. This is the root string. When you play open, that's E. That's what you tune the entire guitar to. When Green Day recorded the song, they tuned it to E flat. So your guitar, the way it's tuned now, won't actually sound right. You'll have to go back and tune it down a half step to E flat. So again, you can look up how to do that. So for this lesson, the first parts that I'm going to break down are the root notes of all of the chords. There are 4 chords in this song that you'll need to know, and that's G, D, E, C. I'm sorry, there are 5 chords. There's also an A chord, and that's only in the chorus. So the verse consists of 4 chords, and the chorus consists of 2 chords, A and C. So for a G chord, it's very simple. Chords get their names because of their root note. So on a guitar, it's easy to remember because this is your top string. It's actually considered your bottom string, but for our intents and purposes, I'm going to call it our top string just because it's how we're going to strum. So chords get their names based on their root note. So this is your 6th string, and your strings, I'm going to refer to your strings as opposed to their letter note. I'm going to refer to them by number in this video. So this is your 6th string, 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. So it just goes down the line. On your 6th string, 3rd fret, this is a G note right here. So this is where the note starts. Then you have, for the rest of your chord, you have the 5th fret on the 5th string and the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then your middle finger just kind of stays out of the way. Doesn't push on any strings. It looks like it is, but it's not pushing on any strings. And you only play those 3 strings. You don't strum all the way down. You only strum these 3 strings right here. So this is your G chord. It's called a G chord because G is the first note that you hit as you're strumming down. So the next chord that you need to know is a D chord. Keep the same shape, but you go down a string. So you have your 5th fret on your 5th string, your 7th fret on your 4th string, that's right here, and your 7th fret on your 3rd string, which is right here. And you're playing these all together. So a chord is essentially several notes that strategically go together, being played all at once. And again, that's your D chord. Middle finger still just kind of hangs out of the way, doesn't touch any strings. Then you have your E chord. Same shape, same strings, up 2 frets. So your index finger should be on your 7th fret. And then let's go down to a C chord. Same shape, same strings, but you start on your 3rd fret. So again, in order, you have your G chord, D chord, E chord, C chord. So, on the staff that I've written out, I didn't write out the chords, I just wrote your root notes. This is how it should be played. We have 4 beats per measure. So you have quarter note, half note for G, quarter note, half note for E, rest, quarter rest, I'm sorry, this is for D, quarter rest, quarter note on E, quarter rest, and quarter note on C. So, what that should sound like is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, rest, 4. And what that means is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, rest, 4. Go ahead and try playing that with just the root note. So we have, again, 3rd fret on the 6th string, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th fret on the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 7th fret, 5th string, rest, and then 3rd fret, 5th string. Now, once you've tried that with just the open notes, go ahead back and try it with the chords. G, 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, E, rest, C. Now, that's all there is for the verse. For the chorus, it's a little bit different. For the chorus, we have eighth notes. And what that means is there are 8 really small beats inside of one measure. So instead of having 4 beats that each last for a quarter of the measure, we have 8 beats that last half of a quarter beat. So we have A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now these happen twice as fast as the previous notes. So instead of having 1, 2, 3, it's going to be an A chord, which is the same as G, same shape, but you're moving to the 5th fret on the 6th string. So it's going to sound like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you move to C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, back to A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then here's where it gets a little bit different, 1 and 2 and 3, rest. So again, they're eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, back to A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then back to C, 1 and 2 and 3, quarter note, and then a quarter rest. So when you put those all together, it should sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest 2, rest 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest 2, rest 4. And then when you bring it over to the chorus, you have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, rest. Once you've practiced that, and you have that down pretty easily, and you can switch through chords playing it really slowly, you can change how you play it a little bit. So, you can try something called palm muting, which is where you gently put it across the strings, right over here. Not enough to completely deaden the sound, but just enough to try and mute the sound. And you can try and play with that a little bit to try and change how the sound comes out as you're playing the chord. So now, instead of completely abstaining from playing a chord where there would otherwise be a rest, you can mute it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a more advanced technique of playing it. So instead of having a complete rest, you're still having a little bit of sound, and it still sounds kind of cool. But you're not completely playing the note out, so it adds variety to the music. And finally, the more advanced that you get, you can change your strumming patterns. So up until now, I've had you playing down, 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 down. And I say down, I'm referring to how you pick. So you can change it to changing the beats here and there. So instead of doing quarter beats for the entire verse, you can do like eighth beats. And that's how they actually play it on the album. And what I'm doing there, I can slow it down for you here, but that's just... But so I hope you guys enjoyed the video a lot, and you guys can practice it as you need to. The best piece of advice that I can offer you is start it very slow, but always keep a consistent pace. So if you have to slow down to change chords, don't just strum quickly 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take 30 seconds to switch from a G chord to a D chord, and then strum through it quickly again. Take your time for the entire thing. Slow the entire thing down so that when you change chords, it doesn't disrupt your flow from the first measure of 4 beats to the second measure of 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep practicing, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video and took something from it. If you're new to guitar, keep playing. It's very frustrating at first, but it gets very fun over time. So if you've been playing a while, thanks for hanging out and watching a beginner's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.